All right, thank you very much, Sarah. Very pleased to welcome in studio Francois Arnaud from the Borgias, and Liz Manley, guest host today for Leanne Lang. You're a big fan of the show.
I know. I wasn't actually supposed to be a part of this interview, but I'm such a fan, and it was very funny because when I got the script what was on the show today, I called the producer and went, "Oh my God, it's like, do you know who's coming in?"
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Season 2 is set to go on a critically acclaimed series, The Borgias, and folks have been watching on Bravo. My wife is a huge fan too. I've seen the show several times, and I'm just blown away at the production level, the costumes, and it's an award-winning series.
Absolutely.
With tons of awards, and the acting level is incredible too. What's it like to be on a production that's this high end?
God, it's an amazing opportunity, and just to work with these people. Neil Jordan, who created the show and directs it as well, twice a year. Jeremy Irons, God, I just can't believe it.
Yeah, it's like a legend.
But it's amazing just to be in those sets and in these costumes, like.
Does that help the process a little bit?
Definitely. Yeah. It's like it's much easier to believe that you're actually in 15th century Rome when you see these sets. It's amazing.
And your character is, you know, I would hesitate to call your character a nice guy. Because it's so diabolical. There's so many nuances to your character. Actually, fiercely loyal to the family, but at the same time, you know, willing to do some pretty suspect things.
Well, that's what I love about the guy. He's so complex. He's got such a great, The show has great character development. There's a lot of room to evolve and to, you know, go somewhere with the character. It's never boring. I never felt like the second season just felt like a completely different, you know, part.
Right.
Almost.
Right. And so tell me something. We mentioned Jeremy Irons, and at this point now you've been working with him for quite a while. So I'm sure you're. I mean, obviously you're doing fine. Yeah, sure. Now. What about the very first scene with him? What was like? Did you have to mentally buck up?
God,
did you think to yourself, "Oh boy, here we go"?
You know, I was terrified, and I thought, I mean, it's great to have this opportunity to act alongside Jeremy Irons, but you know, a lot of the work is to actually forget that he's Jeremy Irons because he has to be my dad.
Right.
And it took me a while. It took me a couple of scenes, but I think we're good now.
Couldn't tell on the show.
No,
you know, it's just an amazing thing. Now, you guys shoot in Hungary too. Which
in Hungary,
I don't. You know, a lot of people, especially in Ottawa, have traveled the world quite a bit, but Hungary is absolutely beautiful.
Budapest is magnificent.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And
I've been
cool,
there.
and a fun city, actually.
Yeah, very historic. Like buildings and great city.
That's cool. So this is a fictional series, but a lot of it's based on history. Were you surprised at the sordid past of the church a little bit?
Not particularly surprised. It's not perfect now.
Right.
But it has much less power now.
Right.
The Pope then was a political leader as well, and not just a religious leader, and he was a financial, you know, leader as well, and not just religious. And was I surprised? What was the question?
Were you surprised?
Were you surprised
at the kind of the way that your role would be? That you would be talking about, you know, kind of diabolic, brutal corruption.
I mean, I wanted to read a couple of biographies before taking on the part, but it's amazing how much we actually have to tone down for,
Is that right?
for television. Like some people accuse us of sexing up history, and I'm like, you didn't read the books, did you?
And you know what? And it really did happen. That's the scary part. Like, it really did.
A lot of it.
It was bad in those days.
Yeah, and I know there's a little bit of poetic license there, but a lot of it really does follow along history.
And if it didn't happen, it's very believable, I think, from what I know.
Absolutely.
Of the era.
Yeah, and you know, so you've wrapped shooting on season 2?
Yeah, we wrapped in December.
Okay, and so it's ready to go on Bravo, and you know, the adventure that you're going through. I know that through your career, you've done a lot of things internationally as well. You did some stuff in France, and also some theater work as well. Where does this rank in terms of your career so far? I probably guessed.
Very close to my heart.
Yeah, I imagine. That's so cool. Anything you want to ask as a mega fan?
Are you allowed to say, is there going to be a third season? I mean, we're just getting ready for season 2.
We're hoping, you know, Showtime people, Bravo people are confident.
Still.
I think they're just waiting like for it to air like a couple of weeks and then to
Well, you have a
confirm
huge fan base. Huge. So, I mean, seriously.
You do.
I mean, just the show in general, you ask anybody.
But not myself, just the show.
No, you do. Hello. I was having hot flashes.
Also you. Trust me, my wife was like, oh, really? And then she asked a bunch of questions about the fact that I've interviewed today. So, yeah, people are very impressed with your work, too. So thank you so much for dropping by. And
thank you.
All the best. Season 2 is coming up for The Borgias. Check it out on Bravo. Francois Arnaud.
Next week, Sunday, April 8th.
That's right. Next week. Check it out. Thank you again for dropping by.
Such a pleasure.
We're back with more on CTV More.